You know, to me this contest was really more than just a contest. It was one last chance to take an awesome road trip in a car that I've been using since the beginning of Tech Syndicate, and it was also a chance to hook up someone from the community. Now Randy lives in South Dakota. That's a 27-hour drive through the Northern Appalachian Mountains, New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin, Iowa, and finally South Dakota. And since this is the last chance to have some fun with this vehicle, we're going to have as much fun as we can.
It's stuck. This is very not a safe road trip.
Now I love mountains, but there's a lot of flat terrain on this, so we decided to take one last stop before we hit New York, and before the mountains kind of turned into rolling hills and then into flat plains, and just take a picture of all the products here in front of this beautiful mountain vista.
I'm sitting on the throne, the iron throne.
It's wooden.
Made of wood.
First leg of the journey. We're very late. Supposed to be at Mayflower Electronics right now. But I don't care. I'm in my element right now. After leaving the mountains, we hit New York, and that's Brunswick Lee territory, meaning that we're very safe. You know, Bunge said that he was really into music and also does play games, so I wanted to make sure that he was taken care of as far as audio goes. So our first stop was Mayflower Electronics in New York to see Tyler. Tyler, we need audio.
Got you covered.
Sweet, what do you got?
So, over here. So this is going to, you're taking this with you. We got air conditioning, nice and cool in here.
The version 1s, man.
Yes.
Yes. So these are just custom made just for Randy.
Custom made, yep, just for Randy. We got your headphones, you got the version 1s, your favorite.
Yeah, the version 1s are my favorites. There's version 1, there's version 2, and there's version 3. And these are orthodynamic headphones. There's basically a piece of copper in there that shakes. It's not the standard cone that you see in most headphones. These are more accurate as far as the sound reproduction goes, and you guys fix them up by
Magic.
Black magic. And then we have a video on that. But these are my favorite just for the sound profile.
Yeah. They have a nice amount of bass, and they're not going to shake your cheeks or whatever like the version 3s.
I love these for rock and roll and classical and stuff. So sweet.
And then we have the heart of the beast, I suppose. This is your personal O2 ODAC. USB input in the back, because you're going to need some power to run these babies.
Also, dude, thanks a lot for the CPU and the hard drive filled with things that no humans should see.
Please wipe that. It's already wiped, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Logan, I was watching your video this morning before you guys came over, and you're putting in the stock heatsink, and I didn't like that.
I'm ashamed.
It's a little embarrassing, but it's okay. I noticed I had this laying in my closet. It's the Hyper 212 Evo.
Hey. Logan, we need to go. Let's go. We have a time frame.
We're getting the hookup, man, for Randy. So yeah, we got some cooling for you, man. We're gonna definitely overclock it a little bit. Couldn't find my heat sinks. They're in there somewhere, but we got a time crunch, and now we've got to go here. So yeah,
got you covered.
Tyler,
thanks again.
Awesome, guys. Check out Mayflower Electronics. All right, we'll come to your house, crawl into your bed, and give you a noogie. Next stop, Buffalo. We were gonna head to Toronto, but that was a bit too far away. So Buffalo it is, and there are some cool things to do in Buffalo. First place we stopped was the Blue Monk, mainly for the duck fat fries, but the kitchen was closed. So we decided to settle for a few beers. After that it was getting late, like 1 in the morning late, and we were all really hungry because we had beer instead of dinner. So after asking several people and getting redirected to several other people who kept recommending different things, everything from pizza parlors to midnight taco stands, we finally walked into a bar that had a really good recommendation. We are going to Mother. Now we got this tip from a guy at a local bar that just stopped serving food, or a girl at a local bar, I don't know.
He was a little bit more hipster than Jimmy.
Yeah, apparently we're in a back alley right now looking for a place called Mother that serves rabbit and duck and things of that nature until about 3 in the morning.
Hoping for a muskrat taco myself.
Muskrat tacos are delicious. They've got a muskratty flavor.
I think this might be the place right here. We found it. Mother's.
Okay.
You know, a place like Mother's, I feel like you have to earn. You have to go for, door to door and ask the locals exactly where the best places are. So I feel like we did a really good job. We walked about a mile and asked about 20 people, but we did find probably one of the best places in Buffalo to eat that late at night. So at 1 in the morning, they still had the full menu available. We were able to get portobello and sausage, some Chinese ribs with some awesome fancy slaw. Josh ordered shrimp with corn fritters and some chipotle mayo on the side. And of course, we had a few beers.
So do you know why they actually do the whole cheers thing?
I have no idea.
Okay, so what it was is, medieval times, what they would do is, obviously there's such a fear of poisoning and stuff and royalty with meat or knights with meat. They would go around the table and everybody would pour their drink into each other's cups. So there'd be a little bit of drink in everybody's cup. So if anybody'd been poisoned, they basically effectively poison everyone. So you pour it, and then everybody look at each other, and then everybody drinks at the same time. If someone doesn't drink, red flag, that's why I don't drink. So hence, cheers. Cheers. You drink first.
On day 2, we're all feeling pretty good. We have 430 miles to cover, and we plan to end up in Elkhart, Indiana, but there's plenty of insanity in between here and there. First stop, Niagara Falls. Now we wanted to go and get some product shots by the falls, but there's a few problems with that. First off, parking and then getting to the falls is quite a long hike, and we didn't feel like carrying all that stuff all the way down to the falls. And then, even if we did go down to the falls, the American side of the falls is not so hot. So our options were to either hop on a bridge, go across to the Canadian side where you can really see Niagara Falls, or renting a helicopter. And I think you guys know what won. Niagara Falls, when it's in high flow, moves about 6 million cubic feet of water per minute. It's not the largest in the world, but you know, these 3 separate falls are pretty impressive. As far as going over the falls, well, I wouldn't advise it. 3 people have tried, and they all survived, though some in pretty bad shape. And there's been several people try to go over in barrels and that sort of thing. Some didn't make it, some have been lost, but usually they come out with minor bruises, breaks, and scrapes. Yes, minor breaks. I do think that the touristy stuff around the falls kind of kills the view, but if you're on the Canadian side especially, it is really something to see. If you're in the area, go check it out. So Niagara Falls was pretty crazy. Next stop, Cleveland for lunch. I haven't spent much time in Ohio, but I've been to every major city except for Cleveland. The only thing I know is that it rocks, thanks to Pistol always watching the Drew Carey show. And I also know that the river is prone to catch on fire. This hasn't happened since 1969, but a lot of major corporations in the area were pumping sludge into the river at such a rate that it would catch on fire. The last fire did over $1 million worth of damage to boats and dock structures and that sort of thing. They've done a lot to clean it up, but it's not perfect. All that talk of pollution made us hungry. For hot dogs, but not just any hot dogs, we wanted some hot dogs with alien relish. So we decided to run over to Happy Dog. Now Happy Dog, you can literally get almost anything you want on a hot dog. It's kind of absurd. When I say anything, I'm talking like, everything cream cheese, blue cheese coleslaw, bacon, southern greens, peanut butter, Fruit Loops, yes, Fruit Loops, and just the largest list of sauces that shouldn't exist that I've ever seen. Some of the combinations are ill-advised, and they won't stop you. They'll let you destroy your hot dog if you want to, and you can add as many as you want without any extra fees. If this was a New York hot dog, mine would have been $30, but it was just like $5. This is a veggie dog right here. It looks like it's pretty good.
What did you get on there?
Okay, we got beans, right? And then we've got cheese, of course. There's some Caribbean coleslaw, and then there are habanero pickled red onions. Beneath that, we have some alien, whatever that relish stuff is. And then, of course, your standard habanero sauces. And there's also Bloody Mary ketchup on this thing. And that sounds like an amalgamation of what the hell. All right, what do you got? What do you got here, Jimmy? What the hell is that, Jimmy?
This is tater tots with macaroni and cheese on top. And then I've got a hot dog with some fried egg on top.
Just a fried egg on top of your hot dog?
Some mushrooms. A whole bunch of stuff in there. Hot sauce.
Tomatoes, Roma tomatoes.
Yeah.
And what do you got here?
I got a little chorizo chili on top and something else I can't remember, but I'm sure it'll taste good.
So I may have gotten a little overzealous with the toppings. So I'm gonna have to fork and knife this hot dog. It's oh my god. It's just like a salad now.
So after another ill-advised lunch, it's time to head off to another ill-advised location, Elkhart, Indiana. After an uneventful drive through some flat terrain, we finally found Elkhart, Indiana. Everything was closed. But we did meet Exotic Thickness and some of his friends there at the Calhoun Diner. So if you guys are watching, thanks for, randomly coming up and saying hi. After that, it was back to the hotel. The only thing we really needed to charge was the PV110 from AData. It's been keeping all of our devices charged, that plus a few, of the cigarette lighter adapters. But Jimmy essentially sat in the back seat, plugged straight into this thing, using his, phone all day. Day 3 was a lighter day. We only had to drive to Madison, Wisconsin, which is 257 miles, in about 4 hours and 31 minutes. So we had some time to kill. And we discovered that there was an RV Hall of Fame in Elkhart, Indiana. We decided to go there just to kind of goof off and make fun of it a little bit. But once we got there, we realized it was actually really awesome.
Where do you even start?
I don't know.
Something like this.
They had everything, like 110-year-old covered wagon-style units, some classic models from the 70s, even some like one-of-a-kind stuff with crazy angles that shouldn't exist in the wild. And I had more fun in there than I expected. In fact, I had as much fun in there as I would in like a really awesome science museum. I have no idea why we're here, but it's pretty awesome. Look at this one. It's like from the 60s or something.
Let's take a step back in time, shall we?
It's that one. That's like the one that Shatner used for a while.
Even mechanical?
Jimmy?
Just don't let Brunswick Lee up in here. It's all broken boards to him.
Stir the plutonium for a while.
Plutonium?
Evenly.
Did you look inside here?
No.
There's like a ton of blades and stuff.
We'll just leave it out for the kids.
Put your hand in there.
Got your barrier so that you can sleep over here.
I need my privacy.
You think options are bad now? The driver's seat was originally an option for 35 bucks.
Well, I'll just stand. Oh my god, it's like...
Like a living room chair rocking it analog. They got one of the first tablets right there.
Oh yeah, look at that old tablet.
Then they got...
Apple, look at that old tablet. Tony, can you do me a kindness? Can you give me a towel? Since it wasn't too strenuous, we decided to stop often. And I saw a sign for Legoland, and I had to turn in. Legos were my childhood. I had like every set. There was one room in the house that was just for Legos. You know, some of the stuff in there was pretty cool, but it, you know, it wasn't exactly like an amusement park or anything. When I saw Legoland, I thought, oh, amusement park. But no, it was just a store. But it was still pretty cool. All right, time to hit the road again. So on the drive to Wisconsin, Josh told us of a place called Mount Horeb, a horrible place that's full of trolls. In fact, it's the troll capital of the USA, and I fucking love trolls. Now, there are troll statues, and just everything has troll in it. The troll this, the troll that, and we decided to eat at the Grumpy Troll. Now, the Grumpy Troll, they brew some of their own beers, and we also happened to bump into Charlie, one of our forum members there. So, dude, what's up? They really had like everything from stouts to sours. We weren't really there for the food. We just wanted to get a couple beers and hit the road again. And it's also really cool because they sell you these like 5-ounce beers for a couple of bucks. So we were able to sample several of the beers. If you like IPAs, the Maggie Imperial IPA has 88 IBUs. It's 9.9%, and it's really good. If you want something a little lighter, the Hoppa Loppa is totally worth trying. And if you want something darker, the Spetsnaz Stout was really nice. It's some coffee and chocolate flavors in there. Nice roasted malty taste. It was really good. So after that, we headed over to Madison, and everything kind of got fuzzy because, you know, Madison is a college town, but it's also a beer town. The only thing I remember is a lot of Belgian beers, a lot of stouts, and a crazy free golf cart ride. This dude rolls up outside, and he's like, hey, free golf cart ride, and he's got an 8-seater, really nice golf cart type thing. We hopped in, and some weird music started. You know, the dude said it was, you know, a free ride, but it was really more of a free acid trip around Madison, Wisconsin. This thing was flying. We're doing like 30 miles an hour. Lights are going crazy. There's some kind of music, ungodly stuff that I don't listen to, but still, it kind of fit the experience. We come around this one corner, and there's this dude wearing, you know, just like a shirt and a tie. It looks like he just ran out of a cubicle and was like, screw this, I'm going to party. And it was almost as if on cue, he comes out and gives Jimmy a high five, and then we take off again. Our final destination for the evening was Paul's, where they did have Devil Dancer. And after a couple of those, I'm pretty sure we were all poisoned, because the next morning was rough. Day 4 was all about recovery, and it was a long day because we were driving all the way to Sioux Falls, South Dakota to deliver the car to the winner. So we lost GPS service somewhere in Iowa, and instead of going through the top of the state, the GPS routed us through the bottom of the state, which was a couple hours out of the way, and we were just going through crazy empty town, hitting up various biker bars for food, and then passing up strange roadside sales for antique farm equipment.
Farm antiques. We saw a sign for some farm ants.
We gotta get like a scythe and take it with me on the plane, carry on.
Hey! Yeah! We're important! Other than that, it was just rolling hills and farmland and nothing else. After a long drive, we finally hit Sioux City instead of Sioux Falls and decided to go ahead and stop for the night. Sioux Falls was only about an hour away. So day 5, we planned to get up and head up to deliver the car. We met up with Ed before going over to the winner's house. Now Ed brought even more swag because I guess a car and a graphics card and a computer and all this stuff was not enough. Ed brought even more stuff. We found Randy all the way in South Dakota, man, in a secret location. It's your new car, man. How do you feel?
I feel amazing.
So we got of course, the car here, but we also have a PC in the trunk. You want to check out what we have back here? Let's start taking stuff out of the trunk. That's in there. Put that aside. Fractal Design power supply. We got real headphones, man. These are sweet orthodynamic headphones from Mayflower Electronics, and it's actually what Jimmy uses at home, the exact model. These things sound amazing. Mayflower saw that we were using stock cooling, and they were like, you know what, you need a real cooler, so we're going to put that on there so you can overclock. Ed from Sapphire brought this one along with him. Ed, why is this so special? Just give him like the 10-second version.
10-second version, the most advanced cooling ever done on a 290X. This is what 290Xs should have been when they released.
So yeah, it's ridiculous. It even touches the PCB, the copper on the PCB, and cools inside the PCB. Yep. So it's really stupid quiet. That's what I love about it. It's really
and fast.
Quiet. Yeah, and fast, mind you. This is the power bank that's in the car. I'm going to give you that. And we also have an 8.8 SSD. It's their Premier Pro SSD, 540 on the read, and I think 460 on the write. Tyler also gave us his personal 2 terabyte hard drive, so we have more storage in there. This is their brand new XPG version 3 memory, so it's already in there. 2133 megahertz. It's beastly stuff. Dude, you got custom fins. Like they comes with like red, and it also comes with gold. They colored these and made custom blue ones just for you to match the graphics card. So they did that. Let's just take it inside, shall we? This is the rig in the Fractal Design Node 804. Let's try it out. You can also lift weights with it. All the stuff. So, how you feeling, man?
Indescribable. Incredible. Thank you so much.
Hey, man, let's go hook it up and play some games and stuff.
Okay, Randy, so obviously our contribution to the system, I feel, is probably most aesthetically pleasing, which would obviously be the Node 804. It's our Cube Micro ATX chassis. It's got the brushed aluminum front panel on it, which kind of blends in with component audio, much like the stuff you got from Mayflower Electronics. And then powering your beast, we have the Newton R3 1000 watt power supply, which you can look at right here.
Product
in this
placement.
beautiful packaging.
Product placement.
That we got here. Actually, you'll probably want to hold it. I'd say you got a handle, you can take it to work with you if you want to. It's a completely modular power supply, so you basically everything except for the main power cable and a few other cables are detachable, so you can fix the cable management that Logan did not do when he originally built this. So he actually left you a project so that you could make it better than he made it originally, which is not too hard at all. So the other thing about it is the fact that the fan is semi-passive. So basically, in common terms, if you're not running it hard enough, the fan doesn't spin. So it's even quieter.
So not only do you got a great video card, the Gaming Evolve software, what they did was they wanted to make it easier for people to play video games and talk to their friends. So as you can see, one of the first things it's going to do is it's going to look to see if you've got the latest drivers, and it will let you download them from here. It also looks at the games that you have installed and will give you the optimum settings for the best image quality while at the best performance. You've got gameplay recording features. You've got the ability to send up to Twitch directly if you want to. You've got the ability to talk to all your friends. PlayStation, Xbox, Steam Network, all of those can be interconnected through this single program. Now, the record is actual recording. And you set up a hotkey and you tell it to start recording, you tell it when to stop. The replay function captures a set amount of gameplay. In this case, it's only for 15 seconds, and you can up that number. But that way, if you're playing and you have that wow moment, you can stop playing real quick and it got captured.
And save it, yeah.
So you can leave this on all the time. I can tell you this, I've tested this with literally this card, and it's almost no frame rate hit. I think I lost 2 frames per second on average in most games. Unless you're going to run a 1440 monitor or you're going to run a multi-monitor display, there is zero reason to overclock this card. There is nothing at 1080. It can't throw 60 to even 100 frames per second.
On max.
On max. It's just crazy how fast this thing can go. There you go.
Thank you so much.
No, it's been my pleasure. Enjoy it. Want to hear back? Want to hear what you like? And if you find something you don't like, I want to hear about that too. That way we can make it better next time.
So it's done, yeah.
Awesome.
Sapphire decided that a car wasn't enough, and an R9 290X Vapor X was not enough, so they got another little swag bag here. Plus the key for you give them a key for Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare as well.
Yes.
So hooked you up with that as well. So yeah, go ahead and know what's in here. Trucker hat.
Oh, we got a little spy in the back.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, that's my nephew.
Hi.
Remember, any videos posted on YouTube have to give proper credit.
It's nice. It's heavy. Alright, that's just a journal?
Yeah.
Now what are you going to do for Christmas?
There's
Mouse
2
pads.
different mouse pads. Yep.
USB hub as well?
Mm-hmm.
Nice, and that's a screwdriver set.
Which is actually at LAN parties, that's the most favorite item.
The screwdriver set?
Everybody
Yeah.
wants a screwdriver set.
8 pins?
8 pins.
Oh, it's at 8. Koozie.
Lanyard. And then that's a metal business card holder. Wasn't sure if you needed business cards to hold or not, but
Not now.
That's your DAC amp combo. Powerful enough for those, and it's the one I'm using at home, same thing. So there it is. From Mayflower, so, and that's, that thing's sweet. Now, on top of all that, Ed decided that they needed some computer games to play, so he was nice enough to call and get a serial number for Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare. I haven't played this game, but it looks like it's a bit of fun. Like if Mario Kart was a competitive FPS, then maybe this would be what it's kind of third person, but you guys get the idea. So they played that for a little while. Then of course I hooked him up with a copy of Doom because that's a history lesson right there. And he said he has not played it on the PC. He actually played Doom on the Sega. So on top of all of that, I really wanted to make sure that he was totally safe and secure on the internet. So Private Internet Access gave us 1 year to give to Bunch. So now he has 1 year of safe browsing. It's very important to use this when you're on the internet. I use it every minute that I'm on the internet. The bottom line with Private Internet Access is that they give you a totally encrypted connection to the internet, and that's so that your ISP can't see what you're doing, nobody else can see what you're doing. All they see when they look at it is just raw data flowing through. And this is also nice because they've been throttling Netflix and YouTube. They can't tell when you're on Netflix and YouTube anymore. It's just raw data. So your Netflix and your YouTube and things like that are going to run a lot faster on Private Internet Access. So it's really cool that we were able to hook him up with that on top of everything else. Now, last but not least, we found out that he really didn't have a good gaming mouse and a gaming keyboard. So while we're there, I was like, you know what, hold on a second. And I gave Funk a call. They were nice enough to throw in a KB460 Cherry MX Blue mechanical gaming keyboard and an MS3, this is the second version of this gaming mouse. So he's going to get both of those, and he's also going to get the Surface 1030 version 2. So that's a dual surface gaming mouse pad. He's going to get all those on top of all this because, I mean, when you get a new computer like this, you've got to have the right peripherals. So it's kind of cool that we hooked him up with that. Now, it's okay that he could have gotten started with a basic mouse and keyboard, and that might have been okay, but he had all wireless stuff, and it was just not going to work out for games at all. All right, man, so what's the first game you're going to play on your new PC?
Lords of Shadow 2, Castlevania.
All right, time to get some dark and moody stuff. All right, what's the first thing you're going to do in that car? Where's the first place you're going in the car?
Gonna take it to the car.
Yeah, man. We drove that thing. There's a lot of bugs on there, so that'd be good. Now I have to figure out how to get home, so can you give me a ride home? I guess I'm on my own. So the giveaway's over, and it's about time to go back home, but not before one more fun night. We decided to rent a car and fly back out of Minneapolis because it was way cheaper than flying out of South Dakota or even Iowa. Plus, Minneapolis is one hell of a city. When we first got up there, it was getting close to midnight, and I know there's a lot of good music in Minneapolis, but it's a Monday, so I was like, where the hell are we going to go for music? After just walking around like we always do and asking a few locals, we were directed to the Ice House. Walk into the ice house, it's a huge converted like warehouse type building.
Feeling pretty kick-ass so far here.
Some of the best food I've had in a long time. We just ordered like Brussels sprouts and asparagus, but hey, they were done right. And while we were there was like this jazz band on the stage, and it's probably the best jazz that I've heard in a bar ever, and that includes my few years living in New York. So if you like good music, Minneapolis is a really awesome city. The next day we got up and we decided to go downtown and check out some of either the breweries or the art district. But basically there are tons of old brick buildings that have been converted into artist lofts and just, you know, antique dealers and breweries. So some of the stuff that we found was beyond ridiculous. Minneapolis, yeah, we need to go back there pretty soon. It didn't feel like a hipster vibe. It felt like more of an artisan or artist vibe. So some of the places you'd walk into, you're like, oh, this looks like a hipster coffee shop, but you get inside there and realize that, no, these are not hipsters. They're not nearly as phony as hipsters. They're just regular people hanging out, you know, having a cup of coffee and, you know, working on whatever project they're working on or getting ready to go back, you know, to do whatever they do. Play around with a loom all day, maybe. Now, the best part about this trip for me, other than hooking up Randy with a car, was just the entire experience of going around the country and meeting different people, meeting people like Michael in Madison, meeting, you know, Exotic Thickness and his friends, just meeting various people across the country. It really is cool to go out there and hang out with our community. You guys are awesome people. And even Bunge was really awesome. I was so glad that somebody in our community who deserved this prize package won. We're definitely going to be planning some more road trips because, you know, we need to get out there and hang out with you guys. It makes us happy. I mean, we're all members of the community ourselves, so we're going to be coming up with some cool ideas to hit the road again, go to a few different cities, and just hang out with all you guys out there. And we're not just going to do this in America. It's going to be various places as time and money and sponsors permit. So I hope you guys had a little bit of fun, you know, watching this. We had a lot of fun making it. Feel free to let us know in the comments. And Bunge, congratulations one last time. You really deserve this stuff. And lastly, thanks to all our sponsors: Sapphire, AData, Fractal, Private Internet Access, and Mayflower Electronics. You guys really helped make this one hell of a prize package.